Well, morning.
Right, cool. Got a camera there.
Yeah. We've got to, been thinking we probably need to relate to the younger viewers more, so I think, are we going to crush it today?
Crush it?
Yeah, crush it.
Yeah, we're gonna smash it.
I think that's about our limit, is it? Well, good morning everybody. I am back. So I was away for a week. We're trying to get ready for sowing or planting or seeding, whatever you want to call it. And we've also got a lot of other things going on too, trying to clean up, tidy up, yeah, that sort of stuff. So it's just all happening. Well, why not? While we're here, even though technically we're not starting on the sowing just at the minute, we'll have a look. I haven't actually seen this before with the Steiger hook to it. A little bit concerned that we might be lacking horsepower. I just don't think 550 horsepower is enough for 12 metres. So anyway, hopefully we don't snap the thing in half. But yes, the new pull, that's all looking good. Thankfully, actually, we do have that new pull because, yeah, at least with the Challenger that's usually on this, it's only 320 horsepower, maybe, something like that. Yeah, obviously it wasn't going to be able to have the capacity to rip it in half as easily as this thing will. So, yeah, that's good to have that all Mickey Mouse. So the other thing is too, while I'm here, the ISO that this tractor had, like the connection for this, it did actually work on the screen. So it's the Pro 700. It did actually work. It was very clunky and slow and you had to sort of get out of it and into it all the time when you wanted to do different stuff. But we've got the TopCon screen from the Challenger and we put it in here, and that way it's nice. You can have the GPS on that one and your monitoring system on that one. And yeah, it just makes it a lot easier. Well guys, we are spraying, so almost sowing. It's all going quite well here. We are actually going out at quite a heavy water rate to make sure we do as good a job as we can. So we want a really nice clean slate on sowing, and that way it'll buy us a few weeks or ideally a month or two to yeah, really just get the crop to get a jump on the weeds, and then the weeds won't have as much of a chance to get going. Well, we've officially started sowing. So I think you're just having some dramas with the GPS. Yeah, trying to get that all right. Because we're trying to inter-row sow, you can see here, that's where you want to get the tine when you're planting to go in between the old stubble marks, and that way it doesn't disturb the old stubble, because otherwise if your tine is running alongside that, it rips it all up and then it all blocks up the machine. The reality is, if it's too tricky, if it's too hard, we'll probably just burn the stubble, and that'll get rid of that. Hopefully we can get through without doing that, but that's just, yeah, what you have to do to get the crop in the ground sometimes. It'll depend how game I am. I might throw the drone up while I'm spraying here, but yeah, you've got to be pretty careful. We'll just see what happens. Just got to do a little bit of checking over this and yeah, just fixing a couple of little things just so they're tip top. So I think one of them is I'm going to break out the trusty duct tape, and the distributor heads here, the little rubber cap on top, sometimes it can get a bit of a loose fit, so we just put a bit of duct tape around that sometimes just to make sure they don't pop off, because if they do pop off, then you've got seed shooting way up in the air and not going where you want it to. And apparently, I don't know what caused it, but there is a diffuser on one of these a bit bent. Maybe it's this one. That must be what Phil was talking about. So I don't even know how that happens, to be honest, but I'll bend that back. So these here, basically, these are your diffusers. So you've got your air pressure coming through these tubes with the seed, obviously. And then what can happen if you don't have these, and a lot of machines don't, but if you go straight into the ground, then with the air that's coming through that pipe, it hits the ground, and because it's forcing the seed into the ground, the seed can bounce back out of the ground, and then you end up with sort of seed, instead of being buried by the dirt, it can bounce up on the side a bit, and yeah, it's not as good a job. You can get away with it. It does work without them, but it just does a better job, because basically what it does is all the air comes out the top, the seeds spin around in here, and then just gravity lets them drop down. They're not actually being forced down. So that is what they do. Right, well, I got my shifting hammer, and we're just going to go around and yeah, adjust a few of these things. It is a bit tricky, one, to not hit your head when you're walking around these things, but because, oh, that's the one that's bent. Found it. So yes, that's going to need a bit of attention. Must have clipped a branch, or maybe even something when it was folded up. But yeah, I'll have to pull this off and try and straighten all this, I think. That's gonna be pretty good, I think. Not perfect, but I'll have to go see if we've got another spare one of those in the toolbox there. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to check our calibration. So Phil's going to be back shortly, and we will do that. So it might look dodgy having duct tape on these, but they do stay on there, but just randomly sometimes they might pop off, or one corner might lift up a bit. So it very much is just a preventative thing to make sure it doesn't happen, so we don't end up being all embarrassed when there's a big strip of nothing being sown. So anyway, Phil and I are about to try and figure out how on earth we calibrate this. It's only our second year of running this new TopCon system, so it was pretty good last year, so it should be nice and easy. Oh, morning.
Right, cool. Got a camera there.
Yeah. We've got to, been thinking we probably need to relate to the younger viewers more, so I think, are we going to crush it today?
Crush it?
Yeah, crush it.
Yeah, we're gonna smash it.
I think that's about our limit, is it?
Yeah, there is one that Jamie uses. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, we're getting shown our age.
Yeah, maybe we need to get the kids that go to school to teach us all the new words. Well, not all of them, maybe. So we're just got to figure out how to calibrate this now, eh?
Yeah, it's all good. So we're just just double checking the old calibrations from last year. I
Yep.
think they're right, but yeah, we just thought better double check.
And we got GPS?
No.
Still no. So, freehanding today, hey Phil?
Might be a bit of freehanding. Yes. I'll see how good my gyro is.
Right, well, I'll get these buckets set up. Oop. Better not leave that one around. That's another one, a different kind of shifting hammer, that one. What's that?
It's fully sick.
Oh, that's an old one.
There's Beastie.
Beastie? What's that?
Fully sick.
Is it? The beastie just means, I guess that makes sense. Something's a bit of a beast. Sorry, we're just finding some information on some new words we can use.
We got stage fright.
Boys,
Yeah, I'm sure there's other ones I can't. There's one off.
why don't any of you guys that are young and in the know, what's some new words we can use? G-rated, of course. Right. It's funny. Life's funny sometimes. We've got a box there, but we kind of need a box and a half. And Phil did bring half a box, a little container, to catch all the seed, but it blew out on the way down. So we do have a cardboard box, but that's not going to be very good for canola, I think. Unorganised. Oh, look at that. Yeah, just the white one. Look at that. It's beneficial sometimes having rubbish laying around. It's a good thing we don't clean up all our rubbish, eh?
Yeah, it's handy at some point.
Righto. So I'll try and catch all the canola seeds. So that's what it looks like if it'll focus. It's got a purple coating on it. Right. Yeah. Righto. Don't drop it. How much longer? You'd think we'd make up a proper tub to do this properly. What are you looking for? 0.58. Well, I better go put that back in the bin. Don't want to waste canola seed. I don't know how much it is a bag, but it was like $40,000 worth of canola seed to plant, what, 500 hectares? Maybe nearly 600 hectares. Righto, now we've got to check that it's coming out of each one. Make sure there's canola as well. Righto, we're gonna just top it up with fertiliser. It's only about halfway through the bin, but we'll top it up while we're both here, and it'll give whoever's trying to fix this GPS issue in the world somewhere, we'll give them an extra 15 minutes. I'll see if I can still time it right, when to turn it off. Hey? That'll be beastie, he says. I don't think that's the right context. Yeah, righto. I chickened out. We could probably go 50 kilos. Now this is what we call the shake. Get all the stuff to go down in the middle. At one point the plan was to make a smaller hopper, so you didn't have to do that, but it's a compromise. A small hopper is harder to reverse up into, but a large one you have to shake it to get it to empty. What part do you repair? Not very well. How long you spend repairing that, Phil?
You must have sabotaged it.
Oh, it's just jammed. I think what's happened is when it's in there and it's forcing backwards and forwards, it's jammed that back. So I have to ram it. Here.
Did you? How'd you?
I only pulled it out.
You broke it.
Just ram it. Line me up. Right?
I think we'll just leave that latch.
Is that worse?
No, it doesn't flog around. It's just a bit tight.
Righto, well you'll get going and I'll get spraying, eh? Well, I'm back to doing the boring stuff. I'll get on the old faithful grasshopper, the main spray rig at the minute. It's taking a bit longer, but at least it's doing a job. And at least, because we're a bit short on tractors at the minute, at least it's not tying up another tractor, this the spray operation. Phil and I were talking yesterday and remembering back when we had a New Holland 8970 tractor, which that's the one that burnt down, and then we bought the 280 Versatile. But back then, that tractor did the planting, did the spraying. It had a 3-point linkage spray unit on it, and it did the chaser bin, the gassing. So we only basically had one main tractor. The 555 was a backup tractor. So yeah, we've come a long way from that. And then we've got the earth moving side to worry about now. So that's all part of developing. Phil's been freehanding it, trying to inter-row sow. So all those years of sowing the old 555 Versatile without GPS has paid off for Phil. I sort of, by the time I was driving and planting and that, we had the very first of the GPS systems. So yeah, I'm not as good, I'll admit that. But yeah, it hasn't been blocking up. It's been seemingly working really well. We're enjoying the sun, which is about to set. We'll leave it there for this video. Just remember to hit the like button if you enjoy the videos, and to subscribe if you haven't already. And also, if you don't want to miss any videos that we do come out with, just hit the little bell notification next to the subscribe button, and make sure your notifications are on. And we will see what we're doing in the next one.